Hello, everybody. I hope y'all can hear me okay. This one's been a long time coming. I hope everyone's doing well and enjoying a nice day after all the rain and storms. And if you got to see the aurora borealis or the northern lights in your area, please share that in the chat or in the comments and tell us what your experience was. Unfortunately, we had so much cloud cover, we weren't really able to see it in my location. Hi, Paula. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Did you get to see the northern lights up in your area? So while we wait for that, hopefully the everything is going well. I was having a little bit of difficulty this morning, but I think that was on my internet. But what we're going to talk about today, hopefully, will cleanse your stream or your feed a little bit. I know a lot of my viewers, my subscribers, are part of the true crime, trauma, drama, law tube, debate. I mean, we go the gamut. So sometimes we do get force fed, like I discussed last time, the drama filled content. So hopefully, with getting back into at least trying to have a once or twice a month stream regarding nature will help to eliminate some of that within our own algorithms. Oh, that's too bad. I saw a lot of photographs, even cell phone photography of the Northern Lights the other night, from places like North Carolina, Washington State. Um, yes, I hear you. I hear you, honey. What's the matter? You want to get in on it? That's my. Said, oh, yes, I know, honey. You're a good girl. That's my Tessa. She's all full of herself. She caught a little vole, so she's been all excited today. All the rain we had has pushed the little critters up and trying to seek refuge in the basement, and then she goes on a little hunt and brings them up and sets them before my feet. She's a good hunter. She's a beautiful girl. She's beautiful. Um, yeah, I'll maybe go ahead and share some pictures in my community tab of my girls. Um, yeah, I might do that later today. On another note, I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of quick videos while the sun is out today of what I've been doing. Um, I've started a new process. It worked well last year, and it seems to be doing really well this year. I call it patch gardening, but it's also uh, seed dumping, where I'll pick a section of where I normally plant and just like a little 12 by 12 section in inches and just dump the seeds out and just do a little. One moment, please. I have to take this call. Please chat amongst yourselves. Hello? Thank you guys for waiting. I appreciate that. Hello, Casey, giving in the give KCG living in the gray. Oh, aha! Goodness sakes. I apologize for that. Okay, we are back. Thank you for being here, KCG. I appreciate it. Oh, did you really think that was your cat? Yeah, she doesn't meow very often, but when she does, it's sweet, but it can also be very like the gimme, 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 pay attention to me, and you need to pay attention to her. But the ringing of the phone, that started her a little bit, so she has gone off and went to her hidey hole. So okay, back to what I was saying. So we're going to go ahead and, oh yes, the gardening. So what I've been doing is taking that little 12 by 12 inch section, dumping seeds, swishing them around a little bit, and just letting them there and letting nature take their course. And so what you end up with is little patches of all your little seedlings. And most things, it's quite easy to separate once they have their first true leaves. Or you can thin them out and just let one plant stay there and then put the other ones in your little peat pots, um, or however you do your type of gardening. But I much prefer direct sowing, and the reason I prefer the direct sowing is because when I save seed from whatever I've grown, it's acclimated to my soil, and I have clay soil. I've got very deep clay soil, and I use my own compost. Throwing stuff out through the winter, then taking it out of the bin, and I don't do it in an artificial environment as far as like in one of those plastic rollers. I dump directly on the ground and then cover with either the tarp or with an old Rubbermaid tub. So the natural bacterias of my soil, of my ground, will get in there, and that's worked fairly well for me for the last 15 years of being on this property. So I'm going to go ahead and take couple of little shorts, and I'll go ahead and put that out there for you guys to show you how that process is going. And what I call my kitchen garden, which is right outside of my back door, this year I'm not planting in there. I'm just letting whatever seeds fell from what I had last year, I'll let them come up. But it's gone to strawberry. The strawberries have taken over, and I have my black jewel raspberry um, bush growing there. So that's all that's going to be in there this year, and that's to give the ground some rest. And then what I'll do at the end of the season is I'll dig up all those strawberries, put them in containers, and let them overwinter. And then what I can do is plant them strategically throughout, what I want for myself and what I'll leave for the animals, because I plant for myself, and I also do like mini food plots for the wildlife, whether it be the birds, the rabbits, the deer, the squirrels, the chipmunks, and so forth. I've found that if I can give them a little area for themselves, they'll leave my main garden alone. Not always. Like right now, I'm dealing with a rabbit that has stripped my blueberry bush because it's in its third year, and this is the first year it got berries. Thankfully, the one still has the berries on the top, so I'm putting a little screen over top of those. But the other one, the deer got it over the winter time, and now the rabbit has just, it's a big cottontail. So I think it's a buck. It's very large because we don't have jackrabbits up here in northwestern Pennsylvania. But okay, I rambled. Let me check the chat real quick. Okay, we're doing well. All right, let's get going. Remember to comment, share, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. 9 spring edible plants and fungi, and I've included some recipes. Fiddleheads, morel mushrooms. And the morel mushroom True morel mushroom. Cap is covered in pits and ridges. It appears to be pitted inwards. Cap is more uniformly shaped and often longer than the stem, not always true with half-free morels. Cap is attached directly to the stem. With half-free morels, half of the cap is attached to the stem, with just the bottom half hanging free. If you slice the mushroom lengthwise, the inside will be completely hollow. It looks like a morel mold. And right here are some pictures for you of a true morel and then the false morel. The false morel look-alike. Cap is more wavy and lobed. It appears to be bulging outwards. Cap often has an irregular shape and appears squashed, almost as though it has been stepped on. Cap hangs freely off the stem. If you slice it lengthwise, you'll see the cap is attached to the very top of the stem. The inside is not hollow. It will be filled with some cottonary fibers or chunks or tissues. Hi, Cash. Thank you for coming in. The lawn next to my uni campus had magic mushrooms. I never partook, but yeah. Hi, Chow. It's so good to see you. I tried sending you an email the other day. Your package got returned to me. So please shoot me an email and to make sure that your address hasn't changed. It said undeliverable, but I will contact you privately in regards to that. Okay, let's keep going. And I've also included a link in the slide for you. And here is a recipe for a spring ramp pasta with morels and peas. And we're also going to talk about ramps because this year the weather has been on the chill side across the United States. A lot of our spring flora has been late in blooming and emerging. So right now, mid-May, end of May, beginning of June, a lot of these plants are now showing up. So it's not too late to get like your fiddleheads and your ramps. Violets are out now. We'll go over some violets. And because of all the rain that we've had, and with the wind, and unfortunately even with the tornadoes, the disturbance has allowed the mushrooms to really flourish over the last week in the Midwest and here in the Northeast and the New England area. From what my friends in the New England area have said, that they are now really starting to see mushroom activity. Okay, Chow, I will go ahead and resend it to you then. Cash, I hated mushrooms as a kid, love them now. Me missus does not, so tend to not eat more at so I tend to eat them more at restaurants or such when they have them. Yeah, I personally, I've reached the point that on the rare occasions that I do eat out, unless I can see evidence or they provide evidence that the mushrooms are locally sourced, I don't. I prefer to have locally sourced foods, whether it be the meats or the vegetables, because these days, and from what I understand, probably for at least a decade now, restaurants have just been ordering their foodstuffs from suppliers that get their food from everywhere, not necessarily local, because they buy it in such large quantities, and that's a shame. But that's a topic for another day as well. But what we're going to talk about today is what you can find in your own backyard or in a local park or a trail And even if you live in the city, you're not left out because there are free range mushrooms. Exactly. Because there are a lot of dairy farms around here and a couple of uh, steer, uh, some farmers that raise steer um, for their steaks, for their meat. Uh, the youth know to go cow patty hunting. They know the good spots, I guess. But I think that's a no topic on YouTube these days. But it's interesting to read about how mushrooms, fungi go so far back into antiquity that it was really trial and error. What was for medicine, what was for food, and what was not good. And I think that's with everything. You find out that, oh, if you take that, you're going to get sick or you're going to pass. I mean, and there are mushrooms that are quite deadly. The destroying angel, for one, and it has lookalikes that are edible. And that goes into a whole nother area, but that's not my area of expertise. So I will send you to a mycology expert for that. I do have links for that and resources for that at the end of the presentation. And the UK is small, so when you say local, it's very local. Yes, yes. So that's really good that in your area that most of the produce is locally sourced. And we did have that time period where a lot of different cafes and niche restaurants were opening up that were farm to table places. But unfortunately, during the COVID, a lot of those places ended up getting shut down or just not reopening at all, um, and due to the downturn of the economy and everything. So um, everything ties together. It really does. And again, that goes off to a side quest. So, and then the next, fiddleheads or fern shoots. Chow, we usually run into each other before I see it. Fun trivia. I don't answer my phone or check tests until I'm sending one. Yeah, I've been, well, this, as I said in the last live stream, the entire month of May, I was not not mobile, not available for much of anything. So I apologize that if I haven't got back to everybody that did take the time to reach out. I will eventually. I'm getting caught up on some things, and I'm also taking things slowly. But I have learned how to use my phone to at least jump into a chat and say hello. But again, I don't like to be tied um, to electronics, even when I'm not feeling well. I don't like to be tied to electronics. So, okay, fiddleheads, fern shoots. There's a couple different fiddleheads you can eat, two or three depending on who you ask. Ostrich ferns or Metusia struthrith, oh my goodness, struthyroteris. Y'all, you can Google that and let Google pronounce it for you, since I think they're probably the best for the table. Edible fiddleheads from the West Coast are usually lady ferns. Okay. A slightly different species that, while still edible, I don't like quite as much as the ostrich ferns, but are still great to eat. And that's one thing I will point out. If you go way back into my history, I discuss this a lot. I grew up on the West Coast. So my immediate introduction into homeopathy, foraging, and um, nature in its broader term comes from plants from the from California, whether it was Southern California, Northern California, or the more arid desert areas of California, Colorado, Arizona, Nevada, and then in my middle years, middle teenage years, we were in the central part of the United States. So I got the Midwest, the Missouri, Idaho. Oh, what's that? What's that other state? Iowa, the northern tip of Texas area, in through there, and then as we migrated back east, then I learned through what was growing in New England, because we were located in Mass for a while, and then settled in Pennsylvania in my adult life. So now my primary focus is on what is within Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia uh, locations. And so all of what I'm going to discuss today, you should be able to find in your location, regardless of where you are in the United States, save for the high desert areas. And here we go. While some ferns are edible, some are toxic. Opinions vary on the safety of bracken and cinnamon ferns, so please do your own research. Okay. Also, too, just one moment. Okay. Oops. Okay. Yes, I see you, honey. Wendy Fiddlehead is her new name. Thank you, Cash. Yes, and I'm also going to be providing some resources for my friends in the UK. And because well, okay, not a lot, but some of the species of things that we do have in the US, especially on the eastern seaboard and going inland, will be found in the UK because they were brought from the UK during the immigration, the colonization, and the all that part of history. Never eat raw or uncooked fiddleheads, as they can cause foodborne illness. Okay. Now, the common blue violet. Wild violets, yes, wild violets are edible, and both the flowers and the leaves can be used in salads, desserts, or as a garnish. Dandelion, weed, wildflower, nuisance, or beneficial plant. Is dandelion tea healthy? Dandelion tea is reported to have some of the same nutritional benefits as dandelions, and it's full of certain vitamins and minerals like vitamin A, C, and K, folate, calcium, and potassium. Okay, I do actually have a presentation in the Nature or Healing with Nature, or Nature is a Healing Force. I'm not exactly sure what the exact name of the playlist is, on dandelions, and that gives the health benefits and the nutritional benefits of dandelions. And I'm not sure if there is a place that doesn't have dandelions at this point. Charles says, I drink dandelion tea. Well, let us know how you like it. Okay, dandelion root coffee. We can also make what they used to call, I believe, pioneer coffee, which was with the chicory root. And I have chicory growing all along the roads, the back roads around here, and I really like it. But I absolutely love the plant itself. I think the flowers are pretty. Dandelion root coffee. Dig up a large bunch of dandelion roots, Wash your dandelion roots as best you can. Slice the dandelion roots into chip-like pieces and then arrange the root pieces onto a dehydrator tray. Allow to dry for 60 minutes or let dry for a day or two in the air. And as I said before, I dry all my flowers, herbs, and roots, tomatoes, all that stuff. I do all air drying. Um, I just get funny about using the oven or or using a dehydrator, because I'm just afraid that maybe I'll let them in there too long and then the nutrients will get zapped out. So I just let nature take its course. Now chop the dried dandelion root into small pieces, arrange on a cookie sheet, and bake for 30 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. Roots need to be dried and browned completely. Allow the dandelion root to cool, then finely grind and roast a second time in an oven for 5 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Store in an airtight container. Put 6 tablespoons of dandelion coffee grinds into 500 milliliters of boiling water and let them steep for 30 minutes. Strain into a saucepan and reheat to desired temperature. Serve with milk, honey, if so desired. Okay. And also I put down here, if you have any particular recipes for dandelions or any of the plants we discussed today, please put them in the comments and share with them, anyone who comes by for the replay. You can also make dandelion wine. I will leave this up here for a moment. And you can go ahead and screenshot that recipe card if you'd like. I'll also be putting the recipe cards over on my Ko-fi page for anybody that is interested. And that's also where I'm going to have first looks for any upcoming projects, as far as for either the video presentations or the streams. And if you want a more direct way to contact me, you can also go over there for that. Let me go ahead and put that link up here for you guys. There you go. I'll leave that up there for a moment if you'd like to write that down. Okay. Red clover, oyster mushrooms, wild ramps, excuse me, bolete mushrooms, and purple dead nettle. Again, a lot of these people just consider them weeds, so they just get mowed over, and they do have not only health benefits, but they have an intense nutritional value with them as well. With the red clover, you can make vinegar. And right here's the recipe card, and excuse me, let's see what the field guide has to say about red clover. Okay, the location of red clover. As for food, red clover makes a relaxing floral tea. Florets may be tossed on salads. The tea is made from fresh or dried flower. Traditional uses. Floral tea was traditionally used as a cure-all. Decoction or tea used as an external wash on burns, wounds, and insect bites. Pioneers claimed that drinking the tea purified the blood and enervating tonic. Tea is considered an expectorant as therapy for respiratory problems such as asthma, bronchitis, and whooping cough. Dried flower heads are traditionally considered, oh, we can't discuss that. Modern uses, a red clover, an isoflavin concentrate in tablet form reduced bone loss in a double-blind placebo-controlled trial with 177 women between the ages of 49 and 65. And the source for that is Atkinson, Compson, Day et al., and it is in their Appendix D. And I will also be supplying y'all with the authoritative sources on these, which is WebMD, PubMed, and several doctor's offices, and some white papers all at the end. So this isn't not just my opinion. This will be referencing the studies that we found this information at. There's also wildlife and veterinary uses with the red clover, and it's a nitrogen fixing soil replenisher. So it has many uses, not only in our gardens, but for us as well. Okay, we'll go ahead and put that, and we'll put this disclaimer up here as per the YouTube necessitates this. And the red clover blossom iced tea, 4 heaping tablespoons of dried red clover, peppermint leaves or drops of flavoring. You can also use your spearmint leaves, leaves, or lemon balm. Again, I'm a big proponent of lemon balm. Juice from half a lemon, honey to taste, or cane sugar, 4 cups of water. Boil the water, remove from the stovetop. Or for my friends over in the UK, go ahead and unplug your kettle and just pour the water over your red clover and your peppermint. Strain, add any honey or your freshly squeezed lemon, chill, and serve it over ice. Cash asks, do you get dandelion and burdock soda in the U.S.? I know that some specialty shops actually do have the beverages made from burdock. And I grow burdock here, well, because it grows wild. I pulled a root a couple seasons ago that was almost as tall as me, and it was easily 4 feet long. And oh my goodness gracious, that was digging and digging and digging and digging until I hit water. I hit bentonite clay. So yeah, I like burdock. I'm backed up in chat. Oh, thanks, Revivals World. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And by all means, I appreciate everyone that comes in for the replay. That engagement is really great. And again, remember, you can leave comments on a replay if you'd like, or ask questions. That anything that goes down underneath a video, even though it's a past live stream, those comments do get forwarded to the creator. So we do get notified in that respect. Okay. Purple dead nettle, nuisance or beneficial plant. Purple dead nettle is a member of the mint family and will have a square stem with 4 distinct sides and opposite pairs of leaves. The rough heart-shaped leaves gradually turn a purple hue as they work their way upward along the stem and are accompanied by small purple tubular flowers around the top. It can be used medicinally or as an edible, used in salads, soups, teas, and pestos. This plant also helps our tiny pollinators when they are first emerging in the spring, providing a much-needed food source. This plant has many health properties to which it can be used as an astringent, diuretic, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antibacterial. An infused oil. Steeping dried herbs in oil creates a beneficial infused oil that can be used to make salves, balms, lotions, and more. To make purple dead nettle infused oil, you'll need about twice as much oil as dried crumbled purple dead nettle. Fill the jar almost to the top with your chosen oil and stir. Personally, I use grapeseed oil, but olive or sunflower oil can be used. It can be good for most skin types too. You can also mix and match your favorite oils. Tuck away in a cabinet or on a shelf and let steep for at least 4 to 6 weeks, shaking occasionally as you remember to. Strain and store infused oil in a dark spot or cabinet out of direct sunlight and heat. Shelf life should be about 1 year. And again, that depends on the oil that's used and the climate it is stored in. The cooler and the darker the environment, the longer shelf life you will get with any of your infusions or decoctions, which is why a lot of the waters that we infuse, like the rose water, the peony water, um, uh, the forget me not, or the scorpion grass waters. You keep them in the refrigerator and they'll last for about 2 weeks. But another thing you can do is you can freeze your waters, your infused waters, into little ice cube trays, and then just take them out and use them as you need them, which I do with the rose water and the lemon zest or the orange zest, um, to for under my eyes. Being with having the darker hair and the fairer skin, I do, I I get dark circles often, so that helps a lot, and it's also helped as I've aged with trying bulking up the the skin under your eyes. Because as you age, it starts to get a little bit more crepey, and that's good for men and women, not just us ladies. You should be able to snap that screenshot for that recipe. Ram's wild leeks benefits in abundance. Rams, also known as wild leeks, offer several potential health benefits due to their rich nutrient content, including vitamins A and C, as well as antioxidants and prebiotics. These benefits may include supporting the immune health, promoting digestion, and potentially reducing inflammation. Here is a sweet and sour ramp recipe. So I'm going to leave that up on the screen for a moment so you can freeze frame if you'd like, and go ahead and take that, or you can go to the honestfood.net and search ramps recipe, sweet and sour ramps. Credit to them for allowing this recipe to be shared. The oyster mushroom. Oyster mushrooms, the Pleurotus ostreatus, are mushrooms you can pick at any time of the year. I do believe that I may have butchered that Latin speak. So again, that's another one. Use Google and let Google translate for you. Um, you are not dependent on seasonal changes, but rather react to weather changes. And that's what I was touching on earlier. Because of all the rain that we've had, and the disruption of the leaf litter, because of all the winds and the two tornadoes. It's just pulled up the spores. It's scattered spores. And now the sun's out there. The fungi are just bolting up. I have morels that do grow in a little microclimate within my yard, and I found them quite by accident when I stored my hanging baskets over the winter on top of a wooden pallet that's shoved away in this little corner out back. While when I removed the hanging baskets to put, to refresh the dirt and plant seeds in, um, there were morels growing underneath there. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. So I always leave the biggest ones so they can drop their spores so I get more next year. Um, So I don't always get a big harvest, but 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, that's enough because I dry them to use later on. Okay, the oyster mushroom is a widely spread mushroom that grows on dead or dying trees. Look for toppled beech trees or trees that look dead from a distance. Pick only the younger specimens. The older ones are perfect for spreading the spores and won't taste so great anyway. Cash, I believe they are very common in the UK. What is a ramp? It's a leek. Um, it's it's a garlicky, oniony type green. Uh, let's. What does Charles say? I was playing around with melt and pour soaps last year and made some really great clay soaps: pink, white, kaolin, fuller's earth, bentonite, charcoal, etc. Oh, that's fantastic! That's absolutely fantastic. You're going to have to share that. Oh, please drop your links in here, guys. Y'all have great channels. And Chow does amazing time-lapse photography of the sky. And it's the Californian sky. And it's just beautiful work. And Bible U, as the name suggests, she discusses the Bible, faith-based topics, as well as different genres or sectors on YouTube, and how they misconstrue or use the Bible or their faith um, with not so great purposes. So please give her channel a look if that's something you're interested in. Cash, he's got a plethora of, it's like deep thought content. It's really great, and he does these adorable little doodles that have personalities of their own, and they sometimes show up in the shorts. KCG, let me double check. I'm going to put you on hold. Let me double check for a minute. I believe KCG also has a channel. Let me check. Don't want to send you to the wrong place. Yes, there she is. Yeah, I'm subscribed. Um, she is a differently able disability advocate, making visual impairment look good. Different abilities and inclusion extended my understanding when my son was diagnosed with autism. Definitely, please check out her channel. Let me grab that and drop that in our chat here. I knew I was subscribed. There we go. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's get back. The benefits of the oyster mushroom. Due to their positive health benefits, oyster mushrooms have remained a vital element of traditional food for ages as a rich source of what we can't say and nutrition. Many experts believe that mushrooms offer antiviral, wound healing, immunomodulating, antioxidant, anti-hypercholesterolemia, and anti-diabetic properties. 11 potential health benefits of oyster mushrooms include the prevention of osteoporosis and arthritis. It boosts vitamin D levels, helps maintain blood pressure, lowers cholesterol, prevents anemia, rich in antioxidants, provides protection. Oh, we can't say that. Boost bone mineral density, regulates sugar levels. It's lower in calories to help us lose weight, possibly. Boosts the immune system by detoxifying the body. And the authoritative source on this is www.medicinenet.com. 24 impressive benefits of the oyster mushroom, an article. The oyster mushroom contains significant levels of the following: zinc, iron, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, vitamin C, folic acid, niacin, and vitamins B1 and 2. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to take a quick drink of the water here. Okay, apologize for any road noises. People are starting to tear up their little their fields and their garden patches right now to uh, because we've had a late season for planting because the month of May was nothing but rain. Okay. And here is a nice recipe for y'all, the balsamic glazed oyster mushroom. Although the result is visually stunning, the ingredients here are very minimal and mostly pantry staples. Just make sure your pantry is stocked with spices. Here is everything you'll need. There is the list. There is the prep time. And there is the instructions on how to make this delicious, delicious recipe. I've made it myself. It is, it's very good. I don't go heavy on the spices just because I can't tolerate a lot of spice. But that didn't keep me from sharing spicy recipes with you guys. And a big thank you to JustineSnacks.com for allowing this recipe to be shared today. And that again is JustineSnacks, one word.com. And you can search balsamic glazed oyster mushrooms on that website, and go ahead and just let her know that I sent you over. Has anyone drank mushroom coffee? No, not specifically KCG, but I have had mushroom tea, mushroom infused tea. Now, I'm going to be sending you guys over to a channel that I can't recommend enough. Two specifically, one in the UK and one here in the United States. And their combined knowledge and how they present it and share it in such an easy to understand way is phenomenal. And they both discuss the different ways to use many varieties of mushroom and different fungus in the wild for their alternative properties. And yeah, I hope you guys will find their channels as beneficial as I have found them in corresponding with, because the one individual is, no, that's, I know the one, I know personally one of the individuals. So we will get to that. Sorry for the little side quest. Okay, so here we go. We are sharing some source links and some channels. The channels I recommend for identification and mushroom foraging tips in the US is Learn Your Land on YouTube. That's www.youtube.com/@learnyourland, one word. And in the UK is Alfie Aesthetics, which is youtube.com/Alfie Aesthetics, ALFIEAESTHETICS. And the general foraging channels would be Robin Greenfield on YouTube and Son of a Bear on YouTube. And if you have any channels that you regularly watch please let me know so I can include them in a future slide or a future presentation or in the comments. So anybody that comes in after us, they will be able to further their journey in learning about natural healing and foraging and the benefits of the flora in our individual environments. So for the dandelion health benefits, uses, and side effects, the authoritative source is healthline.com, Mount Sinai Health Library. Wild violets would be with the permacultural apartment, is one of the websites that has sourced white paper documentation. The Integrated Family Medicine of Asheville, and that is www.integrativeasheville.org. The one thing we can all agree upon is the almanac, and that's the almanac.com. And you can search almost anything at the almanac.com. WebMD for mushrooms. This is specific to the Morel, and WebMD for the red clover. And the and PubMed also. If you go to PubMed.com, or is it PubMed.org? One moment, please. Let me double check that for you guys. Yes, it's PubMed. It's pubmed.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. So you can't get any more authoritative as far as social media and YouTube is concerned. I'm referring you to a government-sponsored website for health information. So thank you so much, Chow, for listing the YouTube channels here. I really appreciate it. And okay. And as I have brought up, there is a way now to support my channel if you would like to, and it is at Ko-fi.com. It's ko-fi.com/Wendy Blank and one word. And over there, I've got the more personal information, my own artwork, some of the things I've fiddled with AI. I have presentations, videos, and it's also going to be for first looks for presentations that are coming up or live streams that are coming up. Also, that is where I'm going to be showcasing my creative work as far as the lace making and the crochet and thread working that I do. And I'll have a little shop over there eventually. I'm working the logistics out for that because I want it to, I want, if anybody from social media comes over to order, I would like them to be able to maintain their anonymity while doing that. Now, any donations or tips, they are anonymous unless you tell me who you are on your. I won't know where they come from. So that's another reason that I chose this site to work with because it allows me to blog. It allows me to upload videos. It allows me to just give quick updates. And it has the shop and it has its own little community over there. And because I do have, although my channel base is small, I do have such a dedicated core group of y'all that I wanted to be able to give you all a way for first looks at things. And if I just put it out on a YouTube post, it goes out to everybody. But over there, whether you donate or not is irrelevant. The first looks are going to go over there, which will be a day or two or maybe even a week beforehand. And also, I have been able to determine and was advised and learned that you can have an unlisted live stream, but if you give the link to that live stream to somebody, they can join in and watch that live stream. So if I decide to do a live stream just for anybody that has like a side quest, anybody who has the link can come and watch the live stream type of thing, and I would list that over there. I guess it's my way of wanting to make us more interactive. So with that, okay, let me go ahead and put this. Oh, I'm so confused. Oh, my screen went blank there for a moment. I'm sorry. Where's the chat? Go. Okay, and let me go ahead and drop. There we go. Because this is so new, you know, but, you know, so, oh, thank you, Chow. I appreciate it. Okay, guys. I think I've covered pretty much everything I've wanted to cover today in this. Hopefully, it cleanses your feed a little bit, and the algorithm will go ahead and bring in some more nature type content for you. Oh, and if you weren't aware, let me send you guys let me give you guys a link. One moment. Go copy. All right. It's a video. It's a video that I did almost a year ago now, but it hasn't generated any traction on YouTube whatsoever. So I don't know if y'all have seen it yet, but it is 11 reasons to unplug from the internet and embrace nature. There you go, guys. Thank you, Chet, and thank you all for sticking around for the stream today. I appreciate it. I know it was a little bit impromptu, but until next time, and we'll see you out there. Remember, y'all on the replay crew, leave a comment, say hello, and if you have any questions, drop them down. And if there's any particular plant or weed that you would like information on or would like to see me do a presentation on, let me know that as well. Otherwise, utilize the links and the resources within this presentation and in my nature playlist. There is a plethora of information and links and resources there as well. After this is all done, I will go ahead and do a breakdown with timestamps in the description, and all my links should be in the description as well as far as resources are concerned and authoritative sources. And again, as I said, in the meantime, y'all be well, you be joyful, and I'll see you next time.